So if you're PCSing to Fort Bragg, this one decision could change your whole experience. Most service members type in homes near Fayetteville and they stop their search right there. But just a short drive away is another town that is completely different and feels nothing like Fayetteville. Both have their pros and cons, but if you pick the wrong one, it could result in longer commutes, higher taxes, or a lifestyle that does not fit your family.
I hate this place.
So the town I'm talking about is Hope Mills, and I live in Hope Mills, so I'm a little biased, but we're only 15 minutes away from the heart of Fayetteville. Now, of course, Fayetteville is the bigger city. It's got a population of about 210,000 people, I believe. It's home to Fort Bragg. You have downtown Fayetteville, which has our Major League Baseball team, a bunch of brewery and pubs. And of course, if you head to the heart of Fayetteville, you've got Cross Street Mall, you've got our movie theaters, entertainment, and restaurants. So if you travel about 15 minutes, probably less than that, south, you will hit Hope Mills. Small little town with just about 18,000 people.
Small town.
Now, Hope Mills is its own city, but a lot of people get it confused with Fayetteville because they're so close together. So technically, Hope Mills is its own city or town, but many people think of it as a quieter part of Fayetteville because it's so family-oriented. While Fayetteville, it brings the energy because it is a bigger city. Hope Mills, in my opinion, brings the community. That's one reason why me and my wife moved out here to Hope Mills. We lived in Fayetteville for almost 20. Well, I lived in Fayetteville for almost 35 years, but when we bought our first houses in Fayetteville, we lived there for about 10 years. We had our son, and then we decided to move out to Hope Mills because, in our opinion, it was a better school district. Our son graduated from Southview High School, went off to college. That's another story in itself, though. But that's one reason why we moved out here. And just a sense of community. To us, it feels like a different area. It's hard to explain, but when you drive right into Hope Mills, in my opinion, it just feels better. We've got a Hope Mills Lake. We've got the Parks and Rec Center, which I'll go over more later in this video. And that's why so many military families, first responders, and just longtime locals like ourselves choose it because they want space, stability, and just a slower pace of life. Now, at heart, I am a city kid, but definitely living out here makes a big difference in my opinion.
I like this place.
And not that Fayetteville is a huge booming city like Raleigh or Charlotte, but it is, I think it's one of the top 5 biggest cities in North Carolina. But Hope Mills, in my opinion, feels like a true suburb.
Suburbs.
You got neighborhoods where kids ride their bikes still outside. At the time of this video, we just had Halloween, and our neighborhood was decked out. Just about every house had a Halloween decoration on it. People walking and running through the neighborhood on the sidewalks. And weekend cookouts are probably a natural thing out here. I definitely, when me and my wife walk around the neighborhood, that's all we smell is we're like, wow, somebody's cooking out. And it's just like continuously throughout the neighborhood. Our local schools here are Southview High School and Grays Creek High School. And, for my son went off to college, he was part of the band. So, going out to the games every Friday night was just a great feeling. Just like that sense of community, like I said, and just getting together and cheering on your team. We've got Hope Mills Lake. They built a sidewalk around Hope Mills Lake, or not around the whole thing, but around part of it. Right off Main Street, you got kayaking, boating, swimming. You can lay out there. You can have a picnic out there. I was just out the other day flying my drone around the lake. Fayetteville feels like a busy work day, while Hope Mills feels like a Saturday morning or Sunday morning. So next thing we talk about is going to be location and commute time. So Hope Mills is not a huge city, but if you're looking to commute to Fort Bragg, if you're in the Hope Mills city limits, you're probably looking about a 25-30 minute drive. Now, if you live in Grays Creek, which is part of Hope Mills, part of Fayetteville still a little bit also, it's more the rural area, country area of Hope Mills. You're probably looking about I'd add another 5 to 10 minutes onto your drive, depending on where in Grays Creek you're going to live. 295 is being built or is built, but it still has not been completely at with Hope Mills. Hopefully by 2026, which is just around the corner, it'll be all completed, but I'll keep you guys updated on that if you have any questions about that. In this case, you didn't know, 295 is the outer loop that's hopefully just going to connect all of Fayetteville. So if you're I live in Hope Mills, like I said, so we're on the south side of Fayetteville or Cumberland County, but to get to the north side of Fayetteville, not that it's a terribly long drive, but if you went through the city, it'd take you about 35-40 minutes a friend of mine who used to live in Hope Mills, and he was the manager of Jiffy Lube on Ramsey Street. It took him almost an hour to get to work through the city. He doesn't work there anymore, but towards the end of, before he got a new job, it cut down his time to about 25 to 30 minutes. So that's 295, but we're also close to I-95. Hope Mills is right off I-95, so you can definitely head north or south. Makes it really easy. If you're heading out, down to Orlando, Florida, it'll take you 5 minutes to get on I-95. Either way, whichever way you're headed. And living in Hope Mills, you're maybe 10 to 12 minutes away from the Fayetteville Regional Airport. It's not a huge airport. Definitely, a lot of people fly to Raleigh-Durham International. My wife do also sometimes. Depends on ticket prices. Definitely have to go down that rabbit hole. But if you fly a lot or travel a lot and you're going to live in Fayetteville, definitely compare prices. Sometimes it's worth the drive if you're going to save a couple $100. Really depends on you. Parking up there at the Raleigh-Durham Airport, don't park at the airport. It's like $20 a day. We park outside the airport. It's like $7 a day. They give us a shuttle to the airport. So, look into that. If that's something you're going to do, it's an hour and a half drive to the airport. So just take that into consideration, but it could save you some money there. It really depends on you. And if you're looking to not fly, but travel, take a road trip. The beach is only 2 hours away from Hope Mills, Myrtle Beach, which is more of a touristy area. It's about 2 hours away too. From Fayetteville, depending where you live, it could be 2.5 hours, could be 2 hours. Really depends on what side of Fayetteville you're going to live in. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're traveling to Raleigh, if you want to head to Raleigh, just because, don't want to get out of the city a little bit, only an hour and a half drive to Raleigh, which is the capital of North Carolina. So while Fayetteville offers that proximity of being close to everything, if that's what you want, definitely live in Fayetteville. Hope Mills gives you accessibility to everything without all that noise. So things to do. So not a lot of things to do in Fayetteville or Hope Mills in general. Hope Mills is, again, I know I keep saying it, but it's more of a relaxed area. We do have a movie theater here. It's Millstone Movie Theater. It has 14 screens. Got reclining seats, I believe. Some of the screens do, not all of them. So definitely, if you're not wanting to see IMAX or don't need to see IMAX, if you're in Hope Mills, definitely a lot closer. Got a freaking nice restaurants out here. We have Samuel's. We have Elizabeth Pizza. There is two Mexican restaurants. I cannot pronounce the names, but I will flash them on the screen in front of you. One is at Millstone Movie Theater, and the other one is right off of Main Street. We got putt-putt golf and games out here. And if you like to exercise and work out every day, they just opened up Planet Fitness out here, and they also have I can't remember the name of it. Obviously, I don't work out, as you can tell, but it's another fitness place. They just opened up about a year ago. They built it out here. So we got two, workout places nearby that if you're looking to check out. We also have a Gold Gym. It's technically in Fayetteville, but it's right at the city limit sign between Hope Mills and Fayetteville. Also, like I said earlier, we got Hope Mills Lake, so definitely if you want to go out there and just relax for the day, it's a great time. Obviously, during summertime, it gets pretty hot here, so definitely put on sunblock, all that good stuff if you're gonna head out there. We also have a Hope Mills Rec Center, which they have baseball, soccer, I believe football too out there also. They've also have a track that goes around the new Hope Mills Police Department and the Fire Department. It's a 1.8 mile track, so it's perfect for walking, jogging, pushing a stroller, and you should feel pretty safe there because it circles the police department and the fire department. They also have a skate park out there. They have a playground out there. They're actually building, I haven't heard anything about it lately, but they say they're building a little, I guess, hub area of food trucks, hopefully come here soon. It said fall should be opened up, and fall's here now, and I was out there the other day, as you can see, and they are still building it, so I don't know if it's going to happen this fall. I don't think so. Maybe more winter, maybe spring of next year. And then we got Dirtbag Ales, which is a local brewery here in Hope Mills. It's going to become the local hangout. We've got live music out there. We got food trucks out there. Farmers market. They have kid family events. And it's also dog friendly, so it's huge out there. You'll enjoy going out there and checking it. And they're actually building their own little plaza called Dirtbag Plaza right next door to it. So hopefully with that coming in, bringing more people just to check out. And they're actually, if you are wanting to live so close to Dirtbag Ales because you love it so much, they're actually building a neighborhood back there also. Not Dirtbag Ales, I don't believe, but just a neighborhood is going back there. And since we're talking about housing, let's go into the home prices comparing Fayetteville to Hope Mills. So the home prices in Hope Mills and Fayetteville are about the same. Your median home price here is between 220 and 260. With that, you get a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath home, typically, maybe a bonus room, maybe even 4 bedrooms, between 1,400 to about 1,700 square feet. I know that's a big difference in the square footage sometimes, but it really depends on the age of the home. It's an older home built in the 60s or 70s. It's going to be a little cheaper more than these modern homes that are built. Now, some of the Hope Mills homes, the prices, the taxes may be a little cheaper on the property because the town, we're a town instead of a city, or if you want to call us a city, we're a smaller city than Fayetteville. So you're still paying Cumberland County taxes, but if you live in Fayetteville, you're paying the Fayetteville city tax also in Hope Mills because we don't have a lot of things as Fayetteville does. The taxes are going to be a little bit cheaper, but it can vary from house to house. And just to give you a little fact about the taxes here. So the Fayetteville taxes is right now is 0.9% to 0.95%, while Hope Mills is close to it's closer to 1.03 after factoring the recreation fee. That works out to about $300 to $500 more per year for a $250,000 home. Not a huge difference, especially when your mortgage payment could be a little lower. But when you put it all together, property taxes, home expenses, and just your mortgage payment in general, it's still going to be more affordable than most cities in North Carolina. We're just below the affordability rate for the state of North Carolina. Now, those taxes could make a big difference to you, or they could not. It really depends on what you're wanting. Like I mentioned earlier, Hope Mills is more of a community. Phil has more of that busy feeling, energetic. Of course, everything is more proximity close-wise to you, depending on where you're going to live, of course. So it could make a big difference in a lot of things. So let's talk about school and family life. Like I told you earlier, one reason why me and my wife moved out here to Hope Mills from Fayetteville is because we want our son to go to a better school. That was in our opinion. I can't, as a real estate agent, I cannot give you my opinion. If you ask, hey, what's the best school or what's the worst school? I'm not allowed to give you my opinion because we are real estate agents, and that would be violating the Fair Housing Act by the North Carolina Realtor Association. However, I can give you data.
Data. I need data.
And below is a website, and the description is going to be there also a website called ncreportcards.com. You can definitely check out that website, and it'll give you school ratings from, graduation rate, above average, below average, meets average, everything like that you need to know about every school in North Carolina. So Southview and Grace Creek High School are the high schools for Hope Mills. Fayetteville, we got a lot more high schools. We've got Douglasburg, 71st, Terry Sanford, Jack Britt. I'm not going to keep naming them all, but you kind of catch my drift. If you are looking for a certain area to move to, definitely let me know what school district that is, and I'll help you out more. Obviously, you haven't figured it out yet. I am a real estate agent. So if you have any questions about that, please reach out to us. We'd love to help you. We've helped hundreds of soldiers PCS to the Fayetteville, Hope Mills, surrounding areas. My number is below, and you can click the QR code up here in the corner also. So like I said earlier, I can give you data, and this is all on the internet if you want to look it up yourself. So we'll start with Hope Mills and the schools here. So Grace Creek High School is often ranked the top in the district for academics and athletics. And the grades right below Grace Creek High School obviously going to be Grace Creek Middle, and Alderman Road Elementary is one of the elementary schools that goes to Grace Creek. Both these other schools share the same reputation for stability and solid test scores. Parents also like that classes tend to be smaller and turnover lower, which builds consistency year after year. Next one is going to be Southview High School. That's where my son Matthew went, home of the Tigers. Has a long-standing reputation for sports, advanced placement programs, and career prep. And just to give you an example of that, my son graduated from Southview High School. He also got a 2-year degree and got to take some college courses that were free for me and my wife for him to go to. So he got a 2-year degree when he graduated for free, and he went off to college. And those obviously transferred over to when he went to Greensboro University. And the grades that are below Southview High School is going to be Southview Middle. And to the elementary schools that people love going to, according to the data, is going to be Rockfish Elementary and Baldwin Elementary. But there are a lot more elementary schools that are nearby, so it really depends on what area of Hope Mills you're going to live in. So let's look at Fayetteville. So obviously there's more high schools and schools in general in Fayetteville, so I'm going to hit on a few. The most popular ones, or the most desired high schools, one is going to be Jack Britt High School. The other one's going to be Terry Sanford. A lot of people like Pine Forest. And another one is going to be Cape Fear High School, which is out in the Stedman and Eastover areas. That is still part of Cumberland County. Eastover and Stedman is, but they're their own community or town also. So one thing cool about Jack Britt is it borders right with Hope Mills. So if your son or daughter is going to Hope Mill, I'm sorry, if your son or daughter are going to Jack Britt, but you want to be close to Hope Mills, Jack Britt will be a great area. There's a Harris Teeter right across street from Jack Britt High School, and they're actually building a Publix. And me and my wife go out there a lot. It literally takes us 5 to 7 minutes to get there at the most. It's in Fayetteville, but it's right at the borderline. So if that's something you're looking for, you want to be close to Hope Mills because you like it so much so far. You want to go to or live in a Jack Britt area. Fantastic place to be, in my opinion, if that's what you're wanting. I mentioned Terry Sanford High School. Terry Sanford is more closer to the downtown area, and it's in the Haymount area. Haymount's more the older area of Fayetteville. Homes that are out there, some are built in the 20s, 40s, 50s, and mainly I see 60s now, but older homes, smaller yards, so that's something you're wanting. That's an area. Not all of the homes in Haymount have small yards. To me, they do, but it really depends on what you want. If you want that older, if you like those older homes, Haymount is your area. And of course, with Fayetteville, size brings more variety. Everything from STEM magnet schools and early colleges, private to options like Fayetteville Academy, St. Patrick Catholic High School, and Freedom Christian Academy. So those are 3 private schools that you can definitely have your children attend to or kids attend to. I don't know much about them. I know there is a wait list for some of these schools and an interview process, I believe. Something you have to check out. Definitely go to their websites and find out more information about that. So growth and development. So Hope Mills, population 18,000, but we are definitely growing out here. Obviously Fayetteville, population just over 200,000 people, bigger city. But they're growing also. As Fayetteville is so close to Raleigh, I mentioned earlier, we're actually expanding out and we're pushing, more homes are being built, more businesses are being built going up north where Raleigh's at. Raleigh's growing too, so they're pushing everybody southeast, pushing everybody northwest. So, I'd give another 10, 15 years, everything in that area is going to be a little busy too. Parts of Hope Mills, like I mentioned earlier, Grace Creek is not in the city limits of Hope Mills or town limits of Hope Mills, but I see us annexing in those areas also pretty soon. In Hope Mills, I've seen new subdivisions being built on Chickafoot Road, Rockfish Road area also, which is near Jack Britt I mentioned earlier. We're definitely seeing more homes that have that community pool, clubhouse, and of course with that comes HOA sometimes. So definitely, look into that. That's something you were wanting. And if you still want that country rural feeling, like I mentioned earlier, we have Grace Creek. It's not totally being gonna become urban like in 2 years, but just my opinion, it will in 10 years. But if that's something you're looking to move out to, you want to be close to Hope Mills, but not totally close to Hope Mills, definitely, Grace Creek may be your area. And in Hope Mills, there is more talk of expanding Main Street, which is the main kind of artery or corridor in Hope Mills. They're adding in more restaurants, they're adding in more retail stores, more coffee cafes, just to keep up with the demand of what's going on at Hope Mills. Now there's 2 Walmarts in Hope Mills, and we have a Lowe's home improvement store also. I'm actually literally 2 minutes from both Walmarts. And actually, the other one Walmart is in Hope Mills, right next to Lowe's. The other one is in Fayetteville, but it's right off 301. I can get to both within 5 minutes. So even though it's technically Fayetteville, it's right next to Hope Mills. So definitely, I think the key difference with Hope Mills is that we are growing with intention. I believe the town is working hard to keep that suburban feel, keeping the traffic manageable, and maintaining a strong sense of community.